Well, it's 6 a.m. and as they say, up with the roosters. Every once in a while I can hear the roosters cock-a-doodle-doodle-doodle. There he goes. Every once in a while I can hear that. So I'm up nice and early, trying to avoid the heat, approaching the town center, and from there on to Verez today. I think I have 23 kilometers. So we'll see how this goes. Talk to you during the day. I guess this is market day. They're getting set up for the day. Looks great. When I'm in woods like this, it reminds me of the Divine Comedy. Now, of course, we have a nice clear path here, so it's not quite the same. But when I look off to the sides and I see the deep woods and the trees, and actually, when you look at the trees, they're a little bit sparse. So, okay, it's not a lot like the beginning of the Divine Comedy, but just being alone in the woods makes me think of it. I mean, could you imagine being here alone at night without a GPS like I have, or a headlamp like I have, although I'm not using it? How frightening that would be, especially if you were someone living at the end of the Middle Ages, not knowing what's in the woods or the superstition that went along with that. How frightening that could be. So the woods could be a frightening place. You know, and it's kind of interesting too, because if you read literature, the old stuff, the forest and wilderness were the places that were fearful. You looked at those places as places uncivilized, untouched by man. The way we talk about nature today, getting out in nature, we see ourselves as getting closer to God. But in those days, they saw nature as something dark and foreboding. And it was in the towns and cities, and especially the gardens, where man kind of controlled nature. And as I said, especially the gardens. And if you think about what happens in gardens in much of ancient literature, a lot of bad things happened. Of course, there's the Garden of Eden. And even think about Hamlet's father, who was resting in the garden when he was poisoned. So, and there's many other instances in literature. So gardens, and although they were supposed to be a place of rest, where they were supposed to be a place where you kind of let down your guard, kind of enjoyed nature in a controlled way, were places of trouble as well. And nature, wild, uncontrolled nature that untouched by man, was especially so considered dangerous and foreboding. Again, as we see at the beginning of the Divine Comedy, etc. And nowadays it's just the opposite. When we look at the cities and things, think of the hustle and the bustle and the uncontrolled nature of things. But buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
You look at the uncontrolled nature of all the hustle and bustle, people trying to get things done and make their way. And out here in nature, it's quiet and peaceful. We can commune. So in this time, things have really, really changed.
If you like what you've seen here, check out my book, Italianita, The Essence of Being Italian and Italian American, available on Amazon and other fine outlets. And while you're at it, you might want to look for the book by my daughter, Diana Giovinazzo, The Daughters of Naples, to be released this July 21st. It's a compelling story of 3 sisters in Naples during World War II. And for those of you who are still interested in Italian history, you'll want to pick up a copy of The Woman in Red, an exciting biography of Anita Garibaldi in the Risorgimento. Also, to learn of other strong women of Italian history, read Antoinette's Sister, the biography of Charlotte, the Queen of Naples and the sister of Marie Antoinette.